It's time to get right into this because I want to take you guys back. I want to take you guys back in time a little bit to 2022. Isn't that nice?
I have a sound effect for that.
And we're back. So, back then, She-Hulk was just about to come out. That fantastically successful show on Disney+. And Tatiana Maslany, the star of it, that everyone came to know and love as She-Hulk herself, gave some interviews discussing some of the fan reactions to the show, how she perceived it, and what her attitude was towards them. So I'm going to give you a couple of her thoughts here. She said, and try not to laugh, Jessica Gao is a genius.
Are you serious?
And knows about the culture that we're living in and her position in it when she's writing these stories about a female superhero. She knows what that response is going to be. As a cast, it was delightful sending each other these troll responses and being like, oh my God, give them a week and they're going to literally see this pop up verbatim in the show because they're the villains of the show. It was thrilling. She continued, though. Reading the script, it was so true. There's so much resistance to a woman just existing in that space of superheroes. There's always going to be that. I sort of anticipated it. Excuse me. It's why I also feel it's important. There's such an entitlement to space held by certain people, and to even exist as She-Hulk is like a giant fuck you, and I love that. Now, allow me to take you forward to the present day. Where she says,
"Where's the sound effect for that?"
Fast forward.
That's good enough. When she was doing a recent Nerd Incorrect Twitch stream, getting interviewed about this, she said, "I've got nothing going on right now. You can find me on Instagram, not posting. I've got no job."
Shocking turn of events.
But well, what a difference a year makes. But she also did confirm to us, tragically, that it doesn't look like we're going to get a season 2 of She-Hulk. She said about the possibility of it. I don't think so. I think we blew our budget, and Disney was like, "No thanks."
Oh man! Oh God! Oh man!
Because that was truly the only problem with that show. They just went over budget.
No.
Oh,
perfect. Otherwise,
what's that even in reference to? Like, were they given $250 million and supposed to spread it out through multiple seasons and just blew it all in the first season, or did they just get $250 million for a bad TV show?
Yeah, or was it her way of trying to cover the fact that they just said, "Wow, you spent it on that"?
I mean, I think this is the thing, because no one would have cared what the budget was if it had been a smash hit. Like, Disney would not have cared if they had gone like 200% over budget. If this had been a huge hit on Disney Plus, everyone loved it and it really won people over. That wouldn't have mattered. The fundamental problem is it was trash and everyone laughed at it.
Yeah, if any of these D plus series were successful, they'd be greenlit before the first season was over or shortly after, like most successful seasons.
We'd hear about it all the time.
We'd hear about it. One Piece was like a month after, or not even that, like almost directly after. House of the Dragon, I think, was a month or two. Like we've only gotten one season 2 of a live action D plus show, which is Loki. That's counting Star Wars too. We got What If, but that was commissioned for 2 seasons already, and the showrunner has already left that show. So that showrunner has exited. If any of these things were successful, we'd be seeing season 2 immediately.
You're right.
Yep.
It's like some weird fever dream of a show where they spent $250 million to render someone who looks like Shrek from 1995. Jessica Gao.
Except for Mando. Except for Mando. I had to put in there. I forgot Mando.
Jessica Gao wanted to create a character that had a well-rounded life. I don't think we really got that. And the commentary from the series, according to her, was very prescient and rife with interesting nuance. I don't think I've ever seen a show less nuanced.
Nuanced is not a word I would apply to She-Hulk, generally speaking. We are just going to straight up tell you what you need to think about all of this. It was entirely constructed around those rants about how hard it is to be a woman. And then that finale where they just get to lash out at the fans and say, see, we knew you were going to hate this before we even made it, so we intentionally made it shit. Who's laughing now, huh?
And she gains the power of an knowing all-powerful god, and she only helps herself.
Yeah.
That bit at the end of the series, trying to do a fourth wall break with some meta comedic bit. Just because you're being ironic doesn't mean you're in control of the irony. In fact, if you're not, if others can see through your attempts to be meta, then you're just creating another irony where people are cringing at you on a second level. So I would say to Jessica Gao, we as YouTubers have to use irony all the time, and we do it infinitely more than you.
Nice, I see what you did there. It does make you wonder if they tried to integrate that character into the movies for whatever bizarre reason. I've no idea why they would bother, but if they did, and they're up against Kang or whatever generic villain they put in to replace him, what's to stop her then just like fourth wall breaking out of the movie and climbing into the movie theater or whatever, and just like getting the writers to change the script so that she could win everything? It's
nothing.
Doesn't seem like the kind of thing that you can take outside of its own show.
Well, you know, like the seriousness of the opening of Infinity War. How could they ever get back there with a character like her now after what they've done? It's like, we can't do that. So you can't have her in it.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, well, Captain Marvel's like, no, she doesn't make any money. Like, who else we got? It's like Black Falcon, American Man.
American Man.
American Man.
They'll probably have Hulk bring her in.
At this point, just, you know, the Thunderbolts, they're closer to the heroic team now than what we have left in the hero team.
What else could they do with a second series? I was struggling to fill the 20-minute episodes as it was in series 1. It was getting to Jen goes to a wedding, and that's one episode, and whatever. So they've pretty much done everything they needed to do. So thank God we were spared a second series.
I mean, yeah, like what we got felt like what you would get in season 6 of a show where they've just exhausted all their creative ideas, and it's like, we're just really killing time to fill this release schedule so we can end it and then move on to something else. And that's your season 1. Like, damn. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, you guys, Gary especially, will know more about the comics. Like, does she ever get involved in like actual serious storylines? Does she ever do anything?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
absolutely. They balanced it perfectly. I mean, like the fourth wall breaking, which was pioneered by John Byrne, who was a veteran comic book writer and artist who worked on seminal works like X-Men, Fantastic Four, was perfect at fitting that in. And she was also a member of the Fantastic Four that took on a lot of serious stuff. And it's just a balance. You know, Deadpool 1 does a pretty good job of being serious yet being a Deadpool movie, and they could have completely pulled it off, but unfortunately Jessica Gao didn't read. She's like a Rick and Morty fan and all that kind of humor, so she doesn't really understand like what John Byrne was doing, and I doubt they read a single page of his work in early She-Hulk. But yeah, she does a lot of serious stuff.
I mean, yeah, she did the almost biggest, I guess, fourth wall break of she just mechanically changed the entire world to better suit her, as opposed to, you know, nods and little chats with the audience and stuff. They did do that, but going as far as what she did, it's just a bit of a what stops her from doing that every time question. But I guess that's not even close to all the problems we have in the MCU anyway. So it was funny, the announcement that the Netflix shows are like absolutely canon. I think when Fringy told me that, I was like, I mean, you could make House of the Dragon canon at this point to the MCU. It wouldn't change anything. Doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
Anything could be anything.
It's what you're doing now.
It's when I saw this article today saying that like Wilson Fisk should become the new big bad of the MCU. And like, okay, maybe that might have been interesting if this was like season 1 of Daredevil had just come out. But it's like, you've had him beaten by Daredevil multiple times. You've had him beaten by like fucking a shitty Hawkeye knockoff, and you've had him beaten by like a deaf amputee woman. Like, everyone's beating this guy's ass. Like, how can he be a big bad in anything at this point? You've just absolutely destroyed him.
And you know, Paul Vincent D'Onofrio just being like, I just want to get back to what we were doing in season 1, 2, and 3. Can we do that?
There's such a sad interview with him where he's talking about his role in Echo, and it's just like, I have to do my best to try and make this script work as an actor.
He's just waiting to get back to a season 4 with Charlie Cox. That's what they're like. How many fucking loops do I have to go through? How many times do I have to become like the kingpin who gets killed by your current season heroine?
I feel like they're just
everybody
doing
will
this
forget about.
with everyone from Daredevil. It's like Charlie Cox and him are both like, okay, so we do this one other shitty cameo appearance in another series, and then we get our own one,
we get
right?
ours.
We'll see, guys. We'll just see how it goes.
Like, yeah, sure, maybe.
I feel bad.
No, and then I had to follow Echo up with filming 6 or whoever you talk to 6 or 8 episodes of Daredevil that get completely scrapped, and they go back and redo it all. That must be a solid contract.
Yeah, I wonder how bad that was.
Yeah. That had to be pretty bad. Well, Daredevil doesn't show up as Daredevil for 4 episodes. They kill Foggy and Karen off screen. Sounds pretty bad. That's what they were going to do. Yeah. And it was going to be situational, not comedy, but situational, like court drama.
This is why they should just never be given these characters. Like, just bring back the Netflix guys who did the original series and just continue it.
Maybe they were big fans of Alien 3, and they're like, the best thing that did was kill off those useless characters.
I know.
What was the point in Newt, really? Like, just kill her.
She
It's
can't
a
fight
surrogate daughter. She lost her daughter originally. She's got a new daughter. Kill her off. Okay.
If they're going to do if they were going to do a season 2 of She-Hulk, I'd want it to focus on that guy that Jen takes home for that one night stand as She-Hulk, and it'll be a 6-episode arc of his following the progress of his delicate pelvic reconstructive surgery.
Yeah.
To get his way back to. So that would be my choice if I was a screen.
His ball reattachment. So
yeah,
I would, the emotional trauma as well of like just waking up next to this like pretty frumpy middle-aged woman.
And we'll get regular Instagram updates. They'd be like, Jeremy Renner, like giving the thumbs up from his hospital bed.
That would be kind of funny.
It's like, to the surprise of no one, really. I don't think anyone expected that She-Hulk was going to get a season 2. I mean, it would have been hilarious if it had happened, but...
Well, and if it had happened, there would have been some people out there being like, it's because of your coverage, when we would have been like, that shit must have been guaranteed. Like, from the start, them getting a season 2. No other way that makes any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Because, none of these shows, none of them getting season 2s except Loki for Marvel. And even that, Loki season 2, like, I wonder how well that did. Do you guys hear anything celebratory about the numbers for that season? I don't think so.
No one was talking about it.
Nope.
No one cared. It might have been the best thing ever, or it might have been absolutely terrible. I wouldn't know. Because no one covered it. No one was interested.